felt it before, right? It's 9:30 and you're saying to yourself, I cannot go to bed at 9:30. That's so soft.
Yes.
Just like my nana does.
Yes.
I'm going to push through. And so you push through and you struggle and it gets to 10:30 and you're struggling. And then all of a sudden, you're wide awake.
Yes. Welcome back to the Peaks Life, little daily bite-sized chunks of wellness wisdom. Now today, you are Lynn Fernie, I'm Mike Warren, just in case you weren't sure. Today is one of my favourite subjects.
Oh, what's that?
I can't tell you yet. To spoil the excitement, people tuning in and what are we going to do? Oh, hang on, they read the title, so they probably know. But you don't know, do you?
You can make it a really complex title.
I can. Can you guess?
Oh, no. Too hard.
It was me doing a burpee. The reason why we're going to talk about sleep is the thing, is because I still think, and it's just my opinion, that many people underestimate the importance of sleep as one of the wellness pillars. It's the exercise, the diet, the keto side of things, the ice baths, the breathing. I think they're all quite physical and quite, they're things that people are going to go and do. Whereas sleeping is often things we're currently doing. And so I don't think people really realise the importance of tweaking their sleep and getting the benefits that they deserve to support all the other pillars. So I thought we'd have a chat. I thought what I'd do is the top 5 hacks, because you're a bit of a hacker from way back up. And just to give people some simple tips rather than going into the science of sleep, which will take 10 episodes to understand the science, maybe the top 5 sleep hacks from Lynn Fernie to improve your sleep, the quality, the quantity, and get the benefits you deserve.
I think one of the things that's interesting about sleep before we get into the hacks is, I think you're right, Mike, with what you said that, I
often am, I find,
every
on
now
a daily
and then,
basis.
Every now and then I'll give you credit for being right. But, we sort of, we do lots of other things because they're active, but sleep seems to be something that's passive. So you actively, exactly, by nature, no pun intended. But you go and exercise. You have to go. You have to go out.
And do. Yes.
You have to dress up.
Yes.
And you go and find equipment.
Yes.
And you exercise. Movement, not so much, but you're still actively doing something. Your diet, you're preparing foods in a certain way of a certain kind. And so we see that as a very active thing. But sleep we see as a passive thing.
You just go to bed.
You lie down and you go to sleep. And that's one of the challenges is we don't really fully understand sleep. You look at science and the science of sleep. It's really not very well understood at all. It's not really well understood why we do it. We know why it's important, but we don't know why we as humans sleep. And therefore I think because a lot of people don't relate to that, and they see it as something passive. You've got to do it. At some point, you're going to fall asleep if you don't go to bed and try and sleep.
You don't have to try to do it. You're going to fall into sleep at some stage. Most people just go to bed without thought. They have some thinking around how well they slept, and the stat is that 80% of people suggest they don't sleep. They don't have good quality sleep. So the stats are people report back to say my sleep is shit. I need to improve my sleep, but they don't proactively go and plan and do something to improve their sleep. They just think maybe get to bed earlier or maybe change a couple of things. They don't spend the same amount of effort as they do on the other wellness pillars.
Or people complain about it.
Yes.
They say, I just can't sleep.
Maybe that's why we're doing this episode, because I'm sick and frigging tired. And you know who you are, people just tuning in. Stop frigging complaining about sleep and not doing anything. Just do it.
But it's, people do. They complain and say, I had terrible sleep last night. How did you feel, Mike? I don't feel good because I had terrible sleep last night. Yeah. But they don't know why they had a terrible sleep. Or I wake at 4 o'clock every single morning without fail.
Yes.
Well, but why? And how can you fix it? Or, I didn't get to bed on time, so I feel really tired today. I only got 3 hours sleep. So there's a lot of complaints about it.
Yes.
But not a lot of action. And so the first thing, and it's not my hack, this is a tip.
Okay.
First tip is to treat sleep in the same way that you treat movement or diet or fasting or exercise.
Give it some credibility.
Make it active.
Yes. Give sleep some love.
Give it some love.
Yes.
Think about it as something active.
Yes.
That you're going to actively
and improve.
Work on.
You're going to measure,
and improve.
Manage and improve.
That's right. Just as you would anything else. If you want to lose weight, you measure. You might measure your waistline.
Yes.
And then you eat in a certain way, and then you measure again.
Yes.
So same thing with sleep. Let's actually map out some things that you can do. try them systematically,
tweak a few things, yep.
and see what happens.
And I think to get people motivated, and we'll start off here because we've been waffling. You particularly have been waffling, but I'm very much on task because I've had lots of good sleep today.
Because you've had no sleep all week.
I think to make it something that people are going to give love to sleep, I think people need to understand the importance. So let's run through as the start point. Why is it critically important we give sleep some love? And why is it critically important we improve the quality and the quantity of sleep to help our overall wellness?
So there are lots and lots of reasons. And you're right, we could spend a fair chunk of time just talking about the importance of sleep. But let's just pick the top 5 or 6.
Sure.
So the first thing is, sleep is when your body repairs and recovers. So during the day, we're active, we're busy, we're putting stress on the body, we're moving, we're working out, we're eating food, and during our sleep, the body will take the nutrients from the food and it'll transport them around the body and it'll use them. It's basically dealing with the waste that is in your system. So your liver works really hard at night, and your liver will often process. And if you wake up, by the way, between 3 and 4 o'clock, it could actually just be your liver doing a bit of detoxing. So our liver does its work, our body detoxes, our cells repair and renew themselves, our muscles not only recover, but they also build from the day of exercise.
Yes.
So all of that happens when we're asleep, because when we're awake, we're very focused on all of our energy is going into the things that we're doing, whether it's eating, whether it's exercising, whether it's working, all of our energy is going into that. When we sleep, the body's energy can go into that repair, recover,
without worrying about operating the body.
Exactly right. So that's super important.
Cool. Long-term memory. Tell me about that and what the importance of sleep is there.
Yeah, so and people might have heard my analogy before that it's really like a computer system that takes all of the files. So let's just say you've had 25 tabs open during the day, you've been reading lots of articles, and in your computer, let's just say you leave your computer alone and some artificial intelligence comes along, takes every article and puts it into the folder that it should be in. That's what our brain does overnight. It basically sorts everything out, processes what's happened during the day, figures out what's important, prioritises it, and then forms long-term memories.
Cool, and cleans the brain?
It certainly does clean the brain. So we know that there are various proteins that end up in the brain. And, we hear about them a lot when we talk about Alzheimer's disease, senile dementia, those sort of conditions. And so basically at night, it's like a big, waste truck comes along. The street sweepers?
Yes.
And they've got those brushes on the side.
Yes.
I was following one yesterday morning. And, they literally drive down the streets and the brush sweeps the gutters.
Yes.
And that's what happens in our brain is you've got like a big street sweeper going along all the highways and sweeping out all of the waste, all of the waste that's not needed. Well, maybe not. We're not talking about thoughts here. We're talking about physical waste. We're talking about proteins, damaged proteins that could cause plaques in the brain, could cause amyloid plaques, could cause Alzheimer's. So maybe not the dirty thoughts, they come in later.
Interesting one. I know that, and you've mentioned this before, that if you don't get sleep, it can inhibit weight loss. So I'm presuming sleep is important for effective weight loss.
Sleep is very important for effective weight loss. So people don't realise that, when we sleep, as I said, the body assimilates nutrients, it goes through its cleanup process, but it's also going through all of the other processes and it's balancing the body.
Yes.
So it's balancing out all of our hormone systems.
Yes.
It's setting things like the HPA axis at the right point. It's making sure our adrenal glands are nicely restored. We've got balance. If we're a woman, we've got balance with the sex hormones. If we're a man, that we're producing testosterone.
Yes.
All of those various things are going on in the body to bring the body to this nice point of balance. And if we don't sleep enough, then it can't do that balancing act. And therefore, if you're trying to lose weight, your body's not in the right state to actually lose weight. It will feel stressed. Because if you think about it, we've got this midpoint, this balance point.
Yes.
And if everything's a bit out of whack and we're one side or the other of the balance point, our body is then stressed. And we know we don't lose weight when we're stressed. So that overnight, long period of good quality, deep sleep is going to allow the body time to relax, restore, repair, and get the midpoint and get the balance back in all the hormonal systems. And it is a time when the body is doing various different forms of digestion. And I just want to give a little fun example. Koalas, Australian small fluffy mammal, beautiful little creatures.
Yeah.
How long do they sleep a night? Anybody listening in know how long a koala sleeps
Well,
at night?
Australian listeners, you can answer this question. I'm going to guess, because I'm an Aussie boy from way back, I'm going to guess 10 hours a night.
Koalas sleep 22 hours a day.
Lucky little devils.
That's it.
Lucky koalas. That's
So
why they look so happy.
That's right. So you always see those little photos of the really cute little fluffy koalas hunched up, sleeping away. And that's because they sleep 22 hours every day.
Yes.
And the reason that they have to sleep so much is because they use masses of energy to digest their food. So when they eat in the 2 hours that they're up and awake and you're grabbing sort of branches and leaves and things, they basically have a really difficult to digest diet. So they eat the eucalyptus plant, they eat a very difficult diet, and it takes a lot of energy to digest it. So they've eaten, they've had their 2 hours of fun, and they've now got to basically restore and recover from that intense activity of digesting their food.
Wow.
All of their energy goes into that digestion, and they need to sleep 22 hours to recover.
That's why they're so cuddly.
So that's right. So take the koala.
Yes.
And it's a little bit of a shout out. It's a bit of a sad day because a couple of days ago there was a fire in New South Wales in Australia, and we're estimating about 350 of those little guys were
permanently
killed.
sleeping.
They're permanently sleeping. So that's a little bit sad.
It is very sad.
But the analogy is, if you think about our lives, we eat. And one of the reasons that we promote a meat-based diet is because it's a lot easier to digest than a plant-based diet.
Of course,
in the case of our koala, he needs 22 hours of sleep. But when you're basically doing all your stuff during the day and you're eating, your body has to work hard and it has to use its energy to digest your food. Therefore, you need to sleep at night to recover from that. And again, if you're not sleeping enough, you're not recovering enough, your digestion's not going to work properly, you're going to get gut problems, and you're not going to lose weight.
Yeah, so it is.
So be like the koala, maybe not 22 hours of sleep.
No, not that much.
But a decent amount of sleep.
All right, so last couple I've heard you mention is around hormones. Hormones are important, and the circadian rhythms.
That's right, and the hormones and the circadian rhythms are all interlinked because basically the circadian rhythm is the thing in our body that synchronizes us with the outside world. So basically on a morning when we get up and we get blue light coming into our eyes, we have specialised cells in the back of our eyes, in the retina, they pick up that it's blue light. And blue light signals morning. So that resets our circadian rhythm and says, hi, it's morning in the outside world, therefore your body needs to know it's morning, get up. And then that triggers the release of various hormones that then mean later in the day you'll produce melatonin, which will then enable you to sleep. So if we're not getting the right sleep, the right amount of sleep, the right quality of sleep, we're not going to bed at the right time, not waking up at the right time, we will interfere with the circadian rhythm and with the hormones that tell us it's morning or it's night.
All right, so we have the benefits, and for those tuning in, some of those you may know, but there's probably a few areas there that are surprising as far as the importance, the physical importance of sleep. So before we go into your hacks, let's look at what is good sleep. So if I said to you, how do you measure sleep? What's the quality and quantity of sleep? What's the, to put some context and add some value, what does good sleep look like?
So it's very difficult to say you should have this amount of sleep for this many hours of this type. So I can't say, Mike, I'm prescribing you
Dr. Sleep.
8 hours of sleep.
22 hours for you, Mike. Go to bed now.
That's right. You're looking like a koala. You're a bit tired. go and have 22 hours.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't work like that.
You can. I'd listen to you.
You try.
Yes,
you
I'd
give
do
it a
that.
good try.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that because we're all individuals. Some people do need longer sleep. If you're ill, you might need longer sleep.
Yep,
If you're
yep.
young, you might need longer sleep. Teenagers definitely need longer sleep. So
Bloody koalas.
sleep does vary.
Yes.
But in essence, the way that we measure good sleep is by how you feel in the morning.
Cool.
So if you can bound out of bed,
Yes.
you wake up without an alarm clock, you spring out of bed feeling relaxed, feeling refreshed, ready to go. Within 15 minutes, you're absolutely raring for your day.
Then that's good sleep.
You power through your day.
Yep.
You don't need the coffee to get you up. You don't need the sugar in the afternoon
Yes.
to help you through the afternoon slump. You don't need to nap, and you fall asleep easily at night. So, if you look at your day and how you feel during the day, that's your best indicator of good sleep. And it's not a one-off. One night of good sleep doesn't really make it. It's, do I get that feeling day in, day out? I'm always feeling good. I'm powering through my day. I'm always, pinging.
Yep.
Or am I dragging myself out of bed? I've snoozed the alarm 3
Yes.
times. I need a coffee to get going. I need a sugary snack in the afternoon, and I really struggle to get to sleep. Or even perhaps I wake during the night. So the good sleep, those are the indicators. The bad sleep, those are the indicators.
And so the next level is measuring your sleep, isn't it? So measuring your sleep, there is some tools and some apps and some toys that we can use to measure. If we were to measure, what are the different types of sleep we're looking for, and how does that play out?
So there's 3 basic types of sleep, and there are more subcategories,
Yes.
but let's just look at the main 3. The first one is light sleep. And this is the type of sleep when you first fall asleep, you basically have this transition between waking and sleeping, and sometimes you might jerk and
Yes.
jump a bit.
I'm familiar with a jerk.
That's you just falling
Yes.
asleep. And you'll go through a period of light sleep, and that light sleep will get progressively deeper into what we call deep sleep. So light sleep is the first, deep sleep is the second, and the third one is called what we call rapid eye movement sleep. And this is the type of sleep where you dream. And the interesting thing is when you're in deep sleep, so light sleep, you're moving about, you might be a bit restless. Deep sleep, you're very, very relaxed, you're very, very deeply asleep, and it's probably quite difficult to wake you. Your heart rate has slowed down, your respiration rate has slowed down, and you're just what we call in that absolute deep sleep, is sleeping like the dead.
Yes.
Very, very difficult to wake up. If you've ever had one of those sleeps where you've been woken to go to an early morning flight and you feel really groggy and it's a struggle, your tummy doesn't feel very nice, bit of a headache, you've probably been in a deep sleep and you've been woken up from a deep sleep. And then the rapid eye movement sleep, the REM sleep, that's where we dream. That's where we have vivid dreams. That's where basically the mind is very active, but the body isn't. That's the time when men get erections, there's blood flow to the genitalia, everything happens. But the interesting thing is we're having these wild, vivid dreams going on in our head.
It's the eyes moving, yes, is that right?
And that's the eyes moving.
Yes.
But our arms and legs are basically paralysed.
Interesting.
So the reason we don't enact our dreams, so you've ever had a dream you've been in a boxing fight, or you've stabbed somebody, or you've given someone a slap, or
regularly,
some kind of sexual encounter, whatever it happens to be. The reason we're not actually fighting and enacting it or going for sleepwalks is because our arms and legs are pretty much paralysed.
There's a safety net, is there?
So there's a safety net. Our
the body's
bodies
a clever thing.
are clever. Absolutely right. So during all of that REM sleep is when all of that work is going on in the brain to sort those memories out, sort through the day. That's why we're having these wild, vivid dreams. And by the end of that REM sleep, we've got the nice, the files in order, the memories in order,
Yes.
and the long-term memories have been formed.
And we hear the term sleep cycle, so I presume you go through cycles of REM, light, deep during the evenings, or during the sleep.
That's right. So you first of all fall into a light sleep when you fall
Yes.
asleep, and then you probably go into the next, deeper and deeper. So you go to deep sleep, and then probably a period of rapid eye movement sleep. And if you are not restless, if you're relaxed, if the conditions are right, you're not interrupted, you will go through a number of cycles during the course of your night, anywhere probably up to about 5 cycles in an average night.
Interesting. All right, so we've got now a bit of a snapshot of what good sleep looks like. And we can, there's ways to track that and ways to measure it, but so the best way is how you feel when you wake up. We understand the importance. Let's hack it. For those people tuning in who go, look, I am not waking up in the morning without an alarm. I'm struggling to get up. I don't feel good. I'm probably not getting good REM or good deep. Let's go through top 5 hacks. Maybe talk through each one just so we understand, because some of them involve a couple of different steps. And if we're going to give sleep some love, we've got to do it justice.
Let's do it.
Hack number 1, Dr. Sleep.
My top hack, and some people might not like this. Teenagers won't like it.
We're not used to people not liking us.
That's right. So you may not love me for this one, but the best piece of advice I can give is go to bed before 11 o'clock.
11 p.m. Okay.
11 p.m. And you must, yes, not 11 a.m.
Okay. Just checking my koala clock.
Definitely 11 p.m. So this is not about napping. We talk about napping.
Napping's completely different. Hourly naps for an hour.
So yeah, the reason we're talking about going to bed by 11 and having that curfew, and I actually mean being in bed, lights out,
horizontal,
eyes closed, horizontal, sheets up to your chin. The reason I'm talking about that and not saying at 11 o'clock, I'll wind down now, is because the body releases adrenaline at 11 o'clock. And adrenaline...
on the dot.
It does. Adrenaline is the fight or flight hormone. It's the one that helps you run away from a tiger or the next marauding tribe.
And that's the second wind, isn't it? You talked about this before. The second wind we get when we stay up late.
That's
you
it.
struggle through 11 o'clock and you feel like you're going to fall asleep. Then all of a sudden, whoosh.
You felt it before, right? It's 9:30 and you're saying to yourself, I cannot go to bed at 9:30. That's so soft.
Yes.
Just like my nana does.
Yes.
I'm going to push through. And so you push through and you struggle and it gets to 10:30 and you're struggling. And then all of a sudden, you're wide awake.
Yes.
And you're not just wide awake for 10 minutes, you're wide awake for hours.
Yeah.
And that's because your body's giving you this big surge of adrenaline and it's going to hang around for a few hours.
Of course, like all adrenaline, it's going to take a few hours to get through, isn't it?
Great if you're going clubbing.
Yes.
Yeah, so combine that with
need
a bit of alcohol.
Don't go clubbing before 11 o'clock. Is the tip there. Wait for the 11 o'clock rush.
I've always said, have a few drinks, wait until 11 o'clock and then go out.
Prees to get through to 11 o'clock.
And you'll be able to go through the night.
Brilliant. See, what a great system.
It is. But if you actually want sleep, you want to be in bed, eyes closed, trying to sleep before 11 so you don't get that surge of adrenaline, you don't get the second wind, and you will fall asleep. So that is my number 1 top tip for good sleep.
Horizontal, eyes closed before 11 p.m.
That's the one.
All right, next one is around the morning, the getting up time.
It is, and this is, so if you're going to have a routine in the evening which says go to bed by 11, the next one is the other end of the sleep cycle, and that is have a regular wake-up time.
Yes.
And what this means is setting an intention that every single day, be it weekday or weekend, you'll get up at the same time. And a lot of people will get up early in the week for work, and then they'll do a catch up at weekends because they say, I'm really, really tired, so I'm going to catch up on all my sleep at the weekend. So they might get up at 6 during the week, and then they get up at 10 at the weekends. That's the worst possible thing that you can do.
Why?
The reason, because our body's circadian rhythm gets really, really messed up.
Yes.
So because we have this thing where on a morning we need certain hormones in order to wake our bodies up, we get a release of cortisol and that wakes us up. Remember that I was saying about the blue light coming in through the brain, telling the body, hey, circadian rhythm, it's morning. If we keep that at a regular time, it allows our circadian rhythm to reset every day, synchronise with our environment and make us feel good. If on the weekends we throw that out of the window, what actually happens is those hormones get released anyway. So you've been in this situation, you're dog tired, you've had a long week, you've been getting up early every day, you got to the weekend, you think to yourself, lovely, Saturday, big lie-in, and then bing, you wake up at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
And then you toss and turn in bed from 6 until 10, you get up and you still feel shit.
Yes.
And the reason
happens a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, so you've tried and you've dozed, but you haven't had any good quality sleep because you've already released the hormones that tell you to get up. And then what happens is if you do get some decent sleep and a bit longer, you do it again on Sunday, Then come Monday, your hormones are out of whack and you don't get the burst of cortisol when you should get it.
Absolutely. So everything's
So
upside
you've
down.
really upset your system, not only for one day, but 2, 3, or maybe even
So if
4
you need,
days.
if you need some extra sleep on the weekend, then to get up at 6 as per normal, and then maybe have an afternoon power nap.
Yeah, the two options be afternoon power nap.
Yes.
So maybe 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Or go to bed earlier.
So you get the more sleep, but at the start.
Much better. So you're much better to go to sleep earlier.
Yes.
Because the hours before midnight, the sleep is much better quality.
Yes.
Than on a morning, because on a morning you've got that cortisol waking you up.
Interesting. Okay, so go to bed before 11, get up.
At the same time
Same
every
time,
day.
set that and you shouldn't get up with the alarm, should you? You should ideally,
Look,
in a perfect world.
In a perfect world. So, I'm not going to say don't set an alarm, because I need an alarm some days. 5 days out of 7 I'll get up without an alarm, but there might be 1 or 2
Yes.
that I don't wake up because I've had a bit of a late night, or I'm just extra tired from the work I've done.
Yep.
The ideal would be that you actually wake up naturally before your alarm goes off.
Yes.
Because you know what it's like, if you're nicely asleep and then you get this beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing, isn't it?
It really does. It
Yes.
shocks you. It's not a pleasant wake up, is it? And that shock isn't good for your system. So if you really need an alarm, try to set it 15 minutes after you're naturally going to wake up,
Yep.
so that you've given yourself a buffer. Or even think about a sunrise alarm clock, because what they do is they gradually, the light gradually comes on, and the quality of light is more towards the blue light, which is the dawn light. So that tells your brain, hi, it's morning, the light's, the sun's coming up,
Yes.
the light's coming, it's time to wake up, and your body will naturally wake up slowly and gradually in sync with your environment.
Or for a really natural alarm, have kids. I've got five little alarms that run around the house, and they wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. They come in gently.
Well, they
Say,
just
"Good morning,
keep you,
Daddy."
they keep you awake all
They
night.
do.
don't they?
All right, hack number 3. So we've done the start of the sleep and we've done the end of the sleep. Hack is number 3 is around the sleep environment and making sure that where you're sleeping is conducive for the quality and quantity of sleep. So run us through some of the auditing that we do for people who are looking at improving their sleep. How do you audit your sleep environment? What's the ideal sleep environment?
And I will say, before I even talk about the sleep environment, if you haven't done steps 1 and 2, hacks 1 and 2,
Yes,
this one isn't going to help you.
true.
All right, so really get 1 and 2 sorted first,
Yeah.
because we're only talking about a small additional gain here. We've got
Yep.
80% of our benefit already.
Yes.
Now we're tinkering around the edges.
Good. Go tinker.
So the first thing is, think about your bedroom. You want to have it as dark as you can. And that's because we naturally should be asleep when it's dark.
Yes.
So if you've got lots and lots of light coming in, and people often throw this one back at me and they say, but Lynn, back in our ancestors' days, we slept in the open air or in caves, so there must have been light because there was light from the stars and the moon. Yes, that's true, but that type of light is not the same light as we get from artificial light. So the
exactly.
big problem in your bedroom is artificial light coming in from street lights,
Yes.
or lights outside, neon lights especially, fluorescent lights. It's light that's in your bedroom from those annoying little blue, green and red lights that are on all your devices. The worst ones are the green and the blue, because they're mimicking that morning light.
Yes.
So you basically want to cover up, if you've got those little LED buttons on your devices, cover them up.
Yes.
Put your phone somewhere else, close curtains, black out blinds if you can.
Black out your eyes.
And if you can't black out your room,
Mascara.
black out your eyes with a mask.
With a mask. And the sleep masks are very effective and they're quite comfortable. And they do, if you cannot black out your room because of all sorts of circumstances, the mask is a really ideal way to go dark.
It is. So dark is the first thing, because
Yes.
that's telling the brain, I'm in darkness.
Yes.
So obviously if the brain thinks it's light, it's going to stay awake. If it's
Yep.
in darkness, it's going to help you go to sleep. Second one is sound. So people get woken up. We know that people frequently get woken up by sound, whether it's the traffic, whether it's the plane noise, whether it's rail noise, whether it's other people in the house, if you're in a shared house, whatever it is, people wake because of sounds.
And sorry, sometimes it's not actually you wake up fully, you're just disturbed.
That's right.
You hear a sound, you might be in deep sleep, you go from deep to REM or to light because of a sound that's disturbed. You don't actually physically wake up and go, wow, that was a sound, but your sleep is not relaxed because of the outside noises.
That's it. So you may not be consciously
Including
waking
snoring,
up.
could be an inside noise.
It could be your partner snores.
Yes.
Absolutely. And your partner keeps you awake, or your partner affects your ability to get deep sleep.
Absolutely.
So if you really can't, again, quieten the environment, then think about some earplugs. And some people find quite a dramatic difference once they put earplugs in.
Yeah. Stop worrying about trying to stop your partner snoring. Fix the sound by sticking things in your ears.
Fix sound.
So you could protect your own sleep, let them snore away quite happily.
That's it. So that's the second one. The third one is the temperature. Temperature and ventilation. So we know that people sleep better at slightly cooler temperatures.
Yep.
Everybody's different though, so I'm not going to give a guideline. I'm not going to say 67 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm just going to say there is a comfortable temperature for you.
Yes.
Slightly cooler is better, but don't go too cold. Women especially get cold. They get cold feet at night.
Yes.
So if you're a woman that gets cold feet, wear bed socks. If you're a guy that, your wife's got her socks on and you're throwing the covers off because you're boiling, then start the night without the covers on. So just think about what's a good temperature for you where you're not waking up sweltering but you're also not shivering at night. And again, with ventilation, so you don't want drafts, but on the other hand, you
tend to go to extremes. If it's winter, we tend to put the heater right up, so we've got a much warmer sleeping environment that we even would have in summer. Or in summer, we tend to put the air conditioner on to chill the place down to way cooler it is in winter. And we end up with these really sort of out of whack sleeping temperatures.
We do. And I just want to say, it is important to have a cool room. The reason for that is not only to do with sleep. We know that we sleep better in a slightly cooler environment.
Yes.
But what we know is if we sleep in a warm environment, we lose our brown fat. And brown fat is the really helpful type of fat in the body, the type of fat that basically helps us lose weight. It's the type of fat that basically will keep us warm during cold temperatures. It's the really healthy protective fat.
The tanned fat.
So it's the tan fat. It's the opposite of the white fat.
Gotcha.
So again. So if
Gotta make you laugh in a podcast. Say something really clever but dumb.
you get the prize
every time.
But if you are trying to lose weight, especially, you want lots of brown fat. You want to get rid of the white fat. So healthy fat, brown fat. You sleep in a warm room. You like your nice heating on and your lots of your blankets. Then you're probably not doing yourself any health favours.
All right, so sleep environment's really important. So go to bed on time, get up on a set time, sleep environment. Blue light, now you've mentioned blue light, but you're going to talk about that separately because it's number 4 hack.
It is.
Because it's a separate issue. We need to be very aware of the importance and the impact of blue light.
It is. So what I said a few minutes ago is that blue light is really important on a morning.
Yes.
And so if you think about light, there is a spectrum of colours in light. We've got the red, the yellow, the orange, the green, the purple, the blue, all those colours in light. The blue light is at one end of the spectrum, and that is our morning wake-up light. That's our dawn light. Think about evening light. Evening light is that beautiful orange, red. Think about a sunset, those beautiful yellow, orange, red colours. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to give the body blue light on a morning, which we've talked about, a nice warm coloured light, the yellow, orange, red light in the evening. Now, the problem for us in our modern world is that we all have lots and lots of devices, and our device screens give off blue light.
So we're talking phones, tablets, laptops, televisions, basically any electronic screen of some type.
Any electronic screen, LED screens especially, but any of those type of screens that we're going to be looking at. So it doesn't matter whether you're playing games, whether you're on you're a keyboard warrior.
It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Smartphones,
if it's
iPhones.
a screen, it's likely to emit blue light.
Not likely to. It will.
It
will emit blue light.
And that's so if we're getting subjected to blue light in the evening before sleep.
Yeah, so let me just jump in with that. So basically the problem with the blue light is we're taking our morning light and we're feeding it to our brain in the evening. And our brain goes, oh, hang on a second, it must be time to wake up. So those specialised cells in the back of the retina take in all that nice blue light and go, aha, it's morning. So it keeps us awake. So we're at the time of the day where we should be sleeping and our brains are getting signals to wake up.
Yes.
So it messes up our circadian rhythm again, it messes up our body, and it will delay the hormones that we need in order to sleep. That's the melatonin.
Okay.
So if I'm certainly not saying get rid of your device. For me, I have my smartphone all the time. I use it all the time. But think about what it's doing to you. So first of all, can you put a blue light filter onto it? Almost every smartphone and tablet and laptop can have a blue light filter. And I don't mean a physical filter. I mean a software program of some kind. So if you're on an Android device or an iPhone, you can just put a blue light setting onto it, and that will come on automatically at dusk.
Yes.
If it's on your laptop, you can install a program like F.lux.
Yes.
That's available for Macs and for PCs.
Okay.
TVs you can't do a lot about, but a lot of devices you can install these blue light filters.
So what we're trying to do is to avoid that blue light, especially closer to the sleep time.
So what we're going to do is once it's got to dusk in your part of the world,
Yes.
whether that's 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night,
Yes.
you don't want to have that blue light into your eyes. So at dusk we want to put filters on so that we're removing all of the blue light from our devices and we're not confusing our brain. Now, look, the alternative, if you are watching TV a lot, so you say, I'm not on my smartphone, but I watch TV every night. You might want to think about getting a pair of those glasses that look like sunglasses.
Elton John glasses.
But they're the Elton John glasses, those are the ones. They've got the orange lenses, and they're called blue light blockers. And you can literally put those on, and that will just block out the blue light. You'll still be able to see. The colours might be a bit altered, but you can still see. You can still walk around the house, do all your normal stuff, but it's just going to stop that blue light from actually getting into the eyes.
Yes, if you believe the blue light is affecting your sleep and you're keen to improve your sleep, that would be a great hack.
Great hack. Again, we're not talking about quite the benefits of the first two hacks, but this is important, especially if you spend hours and hours and hours on your smartphones and your devices, on your laptops. You really want to think about this one, and especially in that last hour before bed.
Yep.
And if you're one of those people that uses your clock, your smartphone as a clock or an alarm, think about that, because if you're picking it up during the night, you're giving yourself a big dose of blue light.
Yep.
So either don't use it as your alarm clock, charge it somewhere away from your bed, or just resist the urge to scroll through the news feed one last time.
Interesting. All right, hack number 5. So it's a bit of a continuation because you're talking about blue lights in the evening, and one of the important things is obviously to minimise the blue light, but also have quite a structured or understand the routine that's going to best support structured sleep, and that's the routine leading up to going to bed, which is what we call the PM routine.
It is.
So there's some things we need to consider in that space, the hours before sleep that can impact sleep, true?
It is. So if you think about the 3 to 4 hours before you want to sleep, then ideally what we're going to do is we're going to have a fairly structured approach to our evening.
Yes.
So think about, if I want to go to bed and sleep at 10 p.m,
Yes.
for the 3 hours before that, I don't want to be eating. And the reason for that is by the time we get to bed, our body is still digesting the food.
Yes.
And if it's digesting, it's not going to sleep. So, make sure you've eaten, at least if it's a heavy meal. Snacks, not as bad. But if you're going to eat a heavy meal or a big meal, do that at least 3 hours before you're going to try and sleep.
Yep.
Alcohol may make you feel like you fall asleep, but actually is probably acting as an inhibitor to deep sleep.
Right.
So alcohol is going to affect your sleep. Stimulants, things like coffee or drugs, anything like that is going to affect your sleep. You may not get to sleep, you may not stay asleep. Heavy exercise, if you're going to go to the gym and absolutely smash it at the gym, and you're going to do that an hour before you go to bed, expect to struggle to sleep. You may be dog tired from the exercise,
but you may not
but
sleep.
you will not get to sleep, and that's because your body's produce lots and lots of hormones, and those hormones are not the ones that help you sleep.
Yes.
So in that 3 hours before bed, you don't want to be doing anything stimulating. You don't want the big meals. You really shouldn't be having a lot of alcohol either. So limit all those things that stimulate your body and make you feel awake and energetic and good.
Yes.
And then really think about, how do you want to wind down? So maybe an hour out, an hour before you want to sleep. At that point, you might switch off your devices. or at least reduce the use. Start to chill out and then have a little routine that tells your body, hey, it's now time to wind down before bed. So you might say, right, I've stopped with my devices, I'm going to sit and read a book. And I'll read a fiction book because that really will help me dream, because fiction is a good way to get the body and the mind into a dream state.
Yes.
So read a book, maybe have a nice warm drink, relaxing drink, a cup of herbal tea or something like that. And just sit and chill and get to that point where you are now nice and relaxed, and then you head to bed. You might do some meditation, you might do a bit of breathing, but you may do some stretching. So it's an ideal time to sit, even if you're in front of the TV, have a nice warm drink, stretch the body out, just get rid of all the stress of the day.
Yes.
Really use that time as I call it like a bit of a buffer, bit of a break between the day
and the sleep.
and the sleep.
Yes.
So it's really like creating a gap. And the ideal would be to have maybe a 1 hour gap between finishing the evening activities
Yes.
and trying to sleep.
And that just sends that signal to your body, it's time. And the body starts to wind down and relax and prepare for the sleep ahead.
And if you do that every day, it becomes a habit. The body recognises the signal. So when you boil the kettle for your tea, the body already realises, aha, making tea, therefore she wants to go to bed soon.
Yes.
So all of those signals are actually telling the brain,
Fascinating.
hey, it's sleep time. So have that little structured, very simple routine to basically tell your body, we're on our way to bed now and we're going to have a nice, deep, restorative sleep.
Excellent. So today was about giving sleep some love. Understand firstly the importance of sleep, and I guess as you said earlier, the challenge is to put it up there with the other pillars of wellness. Give it the same amount of thought and planning and execution around improving the quality of your sleep. And the top 5 hacks. So you've given us some great tips. The challenge those people tuning in is to now go and implement the top 5 hacks.
It is.
And message us and say, I have amazing koala sleep 22 hours a day, so that we know that all these things work and you're improving your sleep.
That's it. Send us your comments. Love to hear which one of the 5 worked for you. So pop your comments in, and if you'd like to know more about sleep, then ask a few questions.
And we'll see you back here again on The Peaks Life.